when I throw these three letters up in front of you, NSO, does anyone want to take a guess at what I mean when I talk about leasing agents, property managers, leasing professionals being NSO? Unmute yourself if you have a guess at what I think NSO means for property managers.
No surface occupancy.
No surface occupancy. I like it. I like it. Who else wants to take a guess at what I mean when I say NSO as such a way to live, such an amazing thing that you can embrace, and something that will allow you to take your occupancy. The O is not occupancy in NSO, but if you do this, the NSO I'm talking about, your occupancy will go through the freaking roof and stay there. Anyone else want to take a guess at what you think I mean by NSO?
No such objection.
No such objections. I love the positive attitude. I am so positive. There is no such objection. Okay? Yeah, I get it. I wish I could be that positive. It would take me several cases of adult beverages to be that positive, because we get a lot of wacky objections in property management, right? We get a lot of wacky complaints in property management. Dare I say, we're magnets for negativity in the leasing office, are we not? Right? Whose dog pooped out? Oh my gosh, you want this much for rent? You're raising my rent to this, right? So there are a lot of objections, and you know, because you're a certified leasing consultant, you have your CLC from leasinguniversity.com. It feels like, because you've been certified through me in Leasing University, it may feel like there's no such objections because you're so skillful at handling them. Here's what I mean when I say NSO. I mean being next step obsessed. This will change your life in leasing. These three magical, sexy, amazing, powerful letters, NSO, next step obsessed. What does being next step obsessed mean? What does being next step obsessed sound like, seem like, feel like? Here's what it is. It is super expensive for marketing to have attention, eyeballs, traffic, clicks, calls on our community. It's very expensive. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. Hence why CoStar gives away Teslas with briefcases of cash at the National Apartment Association. Because they have all the cash. Because apartments.com is expensive. All right? Hi, apartments.com. If you're sneaking in on this video, I know you're expensive. You know you're expensive. Everybody knows you're expensive. I'm not saying anything bad about your product. Don't sue me, okay? But it's expensive. We have to be next step obsessed because leads cost a lot of money. We have to be next step obsessed because our job is difficult. We have to be next step obsessed because we have a lot of stuff that we got to get done during the day, right? We're busy. Our business is the business of being busy. If you don't think you're busy, you haven't checked your voicemail. You got leads, you got complaints, you got work orders, you got maintenance people, the truck broke down on the way to work. You guys have a lot of stuff you got to do. So we're spending a lot of money on leads, check. We're really busy, check. We have more stuff to do in the day than we have day, check. Hence, we've got to be NSO. What that means is every conversation that I have, every interaction that I have, every tour that I have, every phone call that I take or make, I am doing my best. I am obsessed with setting a next step. What does that sound like? Does it make sense to blank? For my CLCs, that sounds a lot like how I close the lease. Yes. Does it make sense to go sign the lease? Does it make sense to renew your lease? Ben, does it make sense to come by the community on your way home from work and look at the amazing 2-bedroom that we were just talking about on the phone? Does it make sense to? Okay? That's a great way to ask anybody to do anything. Sign a lease, renew their lease, stop by on their way home from work, because I'm not putting any pressure on them. Okay? So Ben, does it make sense to come by the community on your way home from work? Yeah, it does. Awesome. I'll shoot you over the address. If you're running late, which is perfectly okay, please text me, let me know so I'm not kind of shoving the person ahead of you outside, right? We can go into a better way. We can go into more talk tracks on how we can make sure that they actually show up. That's not what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about right now is being next step obsessed. That was the easiest way of next step obsessed. I asked Ben if it made sense for him to come and take a look at the community, and he said yes. Well, that's easy, right? What's not easy is when Ben says no. Hey, Ben, does it make sense to go sign the lease? Hey, Ben, does it make sense to renew your lease? Hey, Ben, does it make sense to swing by this afternoon and take a look at that 2-bedroom we were talking about? No, not today. Got it. What's a good next step? Boom. Boom. I'm being next step obsessed, right? I want to make sure that I'm clear. This is not next step obsessed. Hey, Ben, does it make sense to swing by this afternoon and take a look at the community? No. Okay. That's not a next step, right? That's a tap out. This isn't the UFC, but that's a tap out. We're not tapping out, right? Here's another thing. Okay, well, I'll send you over some information. What's your email? That's not a next step. A next step has to be something that is mutually agreed upon. Me sending Ben an email is me doing some stuff. We already established at the beginning of this session that you guys have more stuff to do in the day than you have day. I'm not telling you to do less stuff, okay? Still send Ben the email, but that's not a next step. A next step is a mutually agreed upon next step. So when I say to Ben, hey Ben, does it make sense to swing by the community on your way home from work? Or does it make sense to come by this afternoon? Or does it make sense to sign the lease? Or does it make sense to renew your lease? Fill in the blank, okay? And Ben says no. I'm gonna calmly, coolly, I'm not gonna lose my cool, calmly. Got it, what's a good next step? Right? And then I'm going to wait for Ben to answer. Okay? What's a good next step? Okay, I want to make sure that I'm clear because we're going to go full black belt leasinguniversity.com here. I am not saying what's the best next step. You guys are like, come on, Matt. Really? Yes, really. Words matter. If I say to Ben, Ben, what's the best next step? It's putting too much damn pressure on Ben. He doesn't know what the best next step is, right? Keep it light. Keep it cool, keep it calm, keep it collected. Hey Ben, does it make sense to swing by this afternoon, take a look at the community? Yeah, congratulations, awesome. How about 3 o'clock? Yeah, 3 o'clock works perfect for us. Hey Ben, we're back to back on tours. I do have some stuff booked at 3, but don't worry, I'll carve out some time, I'll make some space for you. Got you covered at 3. Hey Ben, if I'm running late, which I won't be, but if I am, we're talking a couple minutes, what's the best number for me to call you or text you so I can let you know I'm running a couple minutes late so you're not killing yourself to try and get here right at 3. Oh yeah, my mobile's 303-803-7372. Awesome, Ben. Hey, along those same lines, if you're running late, Ben, which is perfectly okay, would you mind giving me a call here in the leasing office? Just let me know so I'm not rushing the person ahead of you as they're completing their lease, kind of getting through that process, and you're not here at 3, you're running a couple minutes late. Oh yeah, no, I'll call you. What did I do? I just freaking locked Ben in. He's gonna be there 5 minutes early, okay? He's gonna be there 5 minutes early. When we say 3 o'clock appointment, I'll see you then, they never show up, right? Because they get the impression that we're what? Hopefully we're not, that we're what? Sitting around the leasing office, filing our nails with nothing to do. We established at the beginning of this session, we are busy, right? Ben, I'm back to back on tours today, okay? Back to back. By the way, back to back, you could have a tour right now and a tour next Thursday. They're still back to back, okay? You just say back to back. Everybody wants to eat at the restaurant everybody wants to eat at. I digress, okay? I just gave you some free bonus stuff to get Ben to show up. But if Ben says no, it doesn't work for him, what we're talking about on today's Leasing University session is being next step obsessed. Got it, Ben? What's a good next step? I think I'll pick it up on Monday. Perfect. Yeah, Monday works great. What time? 2 p.m. Awesome. Ben, hey, I just want to make sure that I'm clear on something here. The likelihood that the 2-bedroom that we're discussing on the phone right now that has the balcony you need, has the assigned parking space that you wanted for the new car that you have and that kind of nook for you to be able to do your work at home stuff, the likelihood that that particular apartment is going to get rented is 100%. It will get rented. Now, the likelihood that it could get rented and will get rented between now and next Monday is extremely high. Okay, we're back to back on tours. That is a very popular floor plan. I'm happy to have you come on Monday. I just want to make sure that you're aware the likelihood that that particular unit may not be available on Monday is very high. As long as you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. I will work with you on Monday. We'll find the next best apartment for you then. Fair enough? What did I just do? Did I lie at all? No. Guys, did I lie at all? We don't teach people to lie at Leasing University. What is the likelihood that every single unit, even that funky one that nobody wants in the corner with no windows, is going to get rented? I will tell you, as somebody who has owned a lot of apartments, the likelihood is 100%. There is not an apartment on planet EARTH that does not get rented sometime. The likelihood's 100%. The probability that it will be rented sooner than later is very high. Okay, notice what I did there. Well, notice what I didn't do. Oh, come on, Ben. Come on, you don't want to lose the apartment. If you don't get it, somebody else is going to take your apartment. That's salesy. That's garbage. Being next up obsessed. Ben, the likelihood that that one's going to get rented is 100%. The likelihood that it could get rented, the probability that it could get rented between now and Monday is extremely high. We are back to back on tours, and those are just the tours that I have scheduled. We have 3 other consultants here in the leasing office that are also taking calls from people just like you. As long as you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. Listen to that line. Ben, as long as you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. Why? We're consultants. We work for them, right? As long as you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. I will work with you. We'll find the next best thing at that time. Fair enough? And then Ben, what you end up happening is Ben goes, I don't want to lose it. I want this one, which is why I recommended you swing by this afternoon. Yeah, you know what? I'll carve out some time. Right, my boss ain't even going to know I'm gone. I'll leave a little bit early. Perfect. I'll see you at 3. Listen, I am back to back on tours today. If I'm running late, which I won't be, but if I am, we're talking a couple minutes. What's the best number, Ben, for me to call or text you just to let you know I'm running late? Oh, yeah, 303-803-7372. Awesome. Perfect. I'll give you a heads up just so you're not killing yourself trying to, squeal on into the parking lot right at 3. Hey, Ben, along those same lines, if you're running late, which is perfectly okay, would you mind calling or texting me just to let me know so I'm not rushing the person ahead of you? Again, we are slammed. Everybody wants to live here. That way I'm not rushing them out the door as they're completing their lease. What am I doing? I'm setting the stage. This is the restaurant everybody wants to eat at. This is the apartment community everybody wants to go to sleep at. Wake up there. Wow, I'm in the amazing community, right? I'm not, okay, we'll see you then. Here's the other thing I'm not doing. Clicking away at my keyboard. How does 215 work? Right? I'm making it happen, guys. And I know I'm operating at a different level. Hi, if you want to operate at the fun level, come to my level. The fun level is this. We'll make it happen, right? I'll double book tours. We'll make it happen. Just want to let you know I got 2 tours at that time, but we're going to make it happen, right? I'll grab you a bottle of water. Boom, boom, boom. I'm hustling, right? Because I want it to be busy. That's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about today is being next step obsessed. So what's a good next step? Let's say Ben says, I don't know, right? Now, guys, hi, your new best friend Matt that needs to get a life. I lay in bed at night thinking about this stuff so you don't have to. People, including Ben, including you, including all the other, what are we at now? 8 billion people on planet Earth, including the other 8 billion people, love to boss other people around. When you understand that, you can use it to your advantage. That sounds like this. Hey, Ben, does it make sense to renew your lease? No, not right now. I'm really busy. Got it. What's a good next step? I don't know. I'm really busy. Totally understand. What's a good next step for me? What did I do there? I pointed the question at myself, right? Well, I am really busy, but I'm taking Wednesday off, so I'll be around on Wednesday. I was going to hang out by the pool. Yeah, I don't know. Give me a call on Wednesday. Perfect. I'll call you Wednesday before lunch if I haven't heard from you before then. Fair enough? Yeah, that works for me. Okay? I've set a next step. Guys, because that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about being NSO, next step obsessed. When I talk to Ben about renewing his lease, I'm not getting out of that conversation. I'm not letting Ben out of that conversation without a next step being set. I'm also not being pushy. But last resort, Once I've asked Ben what a good next step is, he doesn't know. When I've asked him what's a good next step for me, or what's a good next step on my end, he still says I don't know. Now I've earned the right to set a next step. That sounds like this. Hey Ben, I'll do the lease renewal again. Man, can't believe it's been 9 months already. This is the point where our residents typically renew their lease. Does it make sense to knock out your lease renewal so it's one less thing you have to worry about here as we get towards the end of your lease? Oh, no, not right now. Got it. What's a good next step? I'm just really busy right now. I don't know. Totally understand. What's a good next step for me? Man, I just don't know, Matt. I'm really slammed. I'm really busy. I got a lot going on this weekend. I got family in town. Hey, totally get it. How about we do this? I'll let you get through this weekend, and then I'll make a note to give you a call next Wednesday regarding the lease renewal if I haven't heard from you before then. Fair enough? Oh, yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks, Matt. And then on next Wednesday, hey, Ben, it's Matt down here in the leasing office. As promised, calling to see if it makes sense to knock out that lease renewal. Right? Boom. Simple. Okay? You guys, it's so freaking easy to be next step obsessed. When you're next step obsessed, all that money that we're spending on marketing, we get an ROI. When we get an ROI on the money in marketing, guess what they have to do? Less marketing. Less marketing is good for us in leasing. Why? Because it means that we're 98, 99, dare I say 100% occupied. Less work I gotta do. Okay? I'm lazy. You might be lazy. I want to do less work. The best way for us to do less work is just get the damn place occupied, right? Then we're not having to take so many darn calls. When we're down in the 80s or the low 90s or the mid 90s, we got to take a lot of calls. Let's be skillful when we take those calls. Let's use our leasinguniversity.com phone training when we take those calls. And when we're setting a next step, let's be obsessed about it. When we do this, our life gets a lot easier. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. What questions do you guys have for me on being next step obsessed or anything else? I'm here for you 100%. Fire away.
The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number one. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense, even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're gonna help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.